Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Dorchester Hotel here in London, ahead of another super fight for British boxing. March the 4th at the O2 Arena, live and exclusive on Sky Sports box office. David Haye, one of the most feared heavyweights in world boxing, takes on Tony Bellew, the #1 cruiserweight in world boxing. It's an event that has already captivated the minds and opinions of sports fans around the world and, of course, in Britain. Record sellouts at the O2 on pre-sale and general sale this morning. We have a huge event on our hands to kickstart 2017. Of course, we're going to hear from everybody at the table. And firstly, we're going to hear from the head of Sky Sports, Adam Smith. Obviously, we're delighted this event, live and exclusive on Sky Sports box office, a fight that every broadcaster would love to get their hands on. And I'm delighted that the power and weight of Sky Sports are behind this event. And Adam Smith to say a few words.
Yeah, we're massively behind this event. It's an absolute must-see fight on March the 4th at the O2. We've been working with David Haye and Tony Bellew through most of their careers. In my opinion, they're the two biggest personalities over here in British boxing. They're two of the biggest punchers. It's a fascinating fight. It has absolutely everything. Despite the fact they don't like each other, I like both of them a great deal. They've been two terrific analysts for us on Sky, out of the ring, and they've given us so much excitement, entertainment and drama inside it. It's a mixture of volatile characters, of nice guys 1 minute and guys that wear their hearts on the sleeve the next. It's full of power. It's an incredibly interesting fight because of the weight, with Tony going up to heavyweight and David maybe coming a little bit lighter than he has before. Obviously a former world cruiserweight and heavyweight champion and a cruiserweight champion to my left. I think it will be an amazing build-up. We'll be there every step of the way for it, and we cannot wait for an incredible night on March the 4th at the O2 with these two, Tony and David. Both, of course, will also be at Anthony Joshua's big defence in Manchester on December the 10th. So we're going to see a lot of them, and we're going to show a lot of them to you in the build-up to March the 4th. May the best man win. It's going to be fun.
Thank you, Adam. Before we hear from the individual teams, I'd like to pass over to Adam Morley of Team Haymaker, who is an integral part of making these egos gel into a deal, which was always difficult, but always important. And I'll pass over to Adam Morley to say a few words.
Thanks, Eddie. This is obviously going to be a massive fight. I think from David's perspective, he wants big fights now. He had his first 2 fights. Those fights finished quickly. And some people might have said, oh, you know, they weren't great opponents. David's going to show now what he's got. He's got a big fight now. For the rest of 2017, David's looking at world title shots. He's the WBO mandatory. For 2 or 3 months, the last 2 or 3 months, whilst we were talking to Tony, we were also looking at the WBA situation. That's proved very difficult, and I know David wants to put a few things to bed about Lucas Brown and Shannon Briggs and what really went on there. You know, David wants world titles. He will get them this year, and he'll move on towards, hopefully, unifying the belts towards the end of 2017.
Thank you, Adam. An interesting part of this mix, a former member of the Team Haymaker training team, and of course now an esteemed trainer in his own right with a number of British world champions. Of course, Jamie McDonnell just successfully defended his WBA bantamweight crown. His brother Gavin about to challenge for the WBC super bantamweight crown. The heavyweight David Price, of course, and also his principal charge, Tony Bellew, a man that's going to be integral in the tactics of this fight. I'm going to pass over to head trainer Dave Caldwell.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to be an interesting build-up and an interesting night on March the 4th. I think it goes without saying that these two men both possess power, despite what some people might believe. Both of them possess power to knock each other out. Both have been down, so it shows that both are human. You know, everybody, a big percentage of people seem to believe that David Haye can't get beat in this fight. Every fighter can get beat when they go into that ring. Every fighter can. It doesn't matter who you are. There's shocks all the time in boxing. But in this fight, you've got one fighter that's, in my opinion, was a great fighter, was a really talented, outstanding fighter. But he's not been active. He's not been active, and for me, you've got to really think about the last time he had a real fight, a real challenge in front of him, and it looked good in that real challenge. It's a long time, you know. It's through injuries, through everything else. You know, it's nothing that is planned or anything like that. It's just how life's panned out. And in that time, there's been a man who everybody wrote off before, and everybody said, oh, he's never going to achieve anything. He's not going to be a world champion. He fought for a European title. He's going to get beat. He won that. He fought for a world title. Before that, everybody's saying he's going to get beat. He's going to get hammered in front of all his fans. He dealt with immense amount of pressure in fights like the Cleverly fight, where there's a lot of personal issues in that one. The pressure of Goodison to become a world champion. And then, obviously, the BJ Flores fight. David himself thought that Tony had no chance in that fight. Went on record and said there's no possible way of him winning that fight. Explained how he'd sparred countless rounds with BJ and never put a dent in him. Well, he got dented on fight night. Bellew possesses power. He's got speed, and he's got plenty of bottle and plenty of heart. And if this fight comes down to a dog fight, there's only one man that's proven himself that can have a dog fight and that will have it right now, and that's Bellew.
How important do you think your previous knowledge of working with Haye is in this fight, and does that give you an edge in the preparation?
No, because I believe he's a totally different man now. He's got a new training team. You know, Shane will do things differently. Shane's a good trainer. He'll probably modify, change little things that he feels are different. David's older now, obviously. He's had injuries now, so they've got to adapt the training to how he is now. You know, what is he now? 36 years old. He's not the same man as he was when he was flying high. So things are going to be a little bit different now. So I expect him to be a different fighter. The two fights that we've had so far, you can't really look into that because he just looked like an older, slower version. So we're not preparing for that version. You know, I think that I don't think it's going to be as big. I don't think it's going to be as heavy. I think he'll come down to what he's comfortable at, but I think he'll come down significantly. I think he'll model himself more or less on the David Haye that fought Macronelli. The sharp, fast, lighter, leaner looking David Haye, rather than the one that's, you know, he's had for his two fights. What I saw of David when I worked with Haymaker a long time ago. Obviously you see things and you pick up things, and obviously you do that, but I'm not banking on him being the same fighter, the same man as what he was back then. You know, so there are bits, but it's an entirely different fight.
Your opposite number, Shane, been involved in some big fights recently. This time, the big heavyweight fight, and very confident about your charge going into this fight.
Yeah, I'm very confident about, you know, obviously David and where he is right now. We've obviously haven't shown a lot this year. We've come back, done a lot of work behind closed doors, done some new things, implemented some new stuff. But I just don't believe this fight is going to be, you know, it's not going to be about courage or heart or determination. It's about who's got the bigger firepower, and that lies with David Haye.
Obviously, there's plenty of talk about WBO shots, WBA shots. How seriously do you take the threat of Tony Bellew in this fight, and how threatening could he be to derail those plans?
Yeah, he's brave, and he wings, and he's a good fighter. But you know, he's not an elite fighter, and I think David Haye is an elite fighter. He's been inactive, yes, but that quality is with him. And you know, once we get rid of Tony Bellew, we can move on and start taking out more of your charges.
Okay, you got to get past this one first. But Tony, not an elite fighter, and you got your big fight, the fight that you wanted. But we know this fight is about the winning and what lays ahead for Tony Bellew.
Yeah, I'm crap. I'm a little fatty, and I'm crap, little fat cruiserweight. So we'll see on the night, won't we? We'll see who's the elite athlete, who's great at doing what he does. Just while we're talking about, you know, the previous and the past, let's just stop calling them last two fights of his fights. Then they weren't fights, they were exhibitions. That's exactly what they were. They were something that I can't even put into words what they were. I've told you already, I've described them two opponents. One was called the Cobra, he should have been called the Maggot. And one was called Dimori, the first ever YouTube trained boxer. Come on. Let's all get serious here. These were on, well, to be fair, it's only right that it was on a comedy channel, because, you know, it was a comedy what was taking place in that ring. He wouldn't have employed them guys to spar with, and that's a fact. because if he employed them for sparring, he'd have got rid of them even quicker than he got rid of them on the night. So, you know, let's just stop talking about his last tour fight. The last time he was in a fight was 5 years ago. Simple as that. I've done what I've done. While he's gone missing, while he's been partying away in nightclubs for how long, I've been fighting. I've stayed in the gym. I've done what I've wanted to do. I've wanted to be a boxer. The difference between me and him is I want to fight. I enjoy fighting. He hates it. He doesn't like fighting, but he has to fight. He has to fight, remember that. And someone who's forced to do it, he does not want to be here, doesn't want to do this, he doesn't want to entertain me either, but he has to. And he knows why he has to, and that's all that's important. We get in the ring on March the 4th, write me off, say what you want about me, but I won't stop, I'll keep coming. I don't fear nothing of him, he's got this thing that I'm scared of him. All them demands, all them stipulations you put in, I want the ring this size, I want the mat in that size. Listen, mate, I'm not going to run from you. So, Shane, I know that's what you believe I'm going to run. I've got all the respect in the world for Shane. Done an amazing job. I've known Shane a long time. Shane will tell you himself. Brilliant trainer, great fella. His dad, lots of respect for him as well. So, it's not really about Shane and David, it's about me and David. We're the ones who fight. All these stipulations he's put on, I'm surprised he never asked me to carry him to that seat into the press conference, to be honest, because there's that many demands and stipulations. The ring size, walk into press conference, you need to be seated when I walk into a press conference. Do you want me to do your hair as well? The demands are just unbelievable. Do you know what my demand was? Let me pick my own gloves and get in a ring. Can I wear the shorts I pick as well? I'm surprised he never told me what boots and shorts I can wear. He's unbelievable. The biggest diva boxing has ever seen. I swear to God, I couldn't believe the demands. Let's just get in the ring on fight night and see. Like I say, write me off at your pedal. I'm the little fat cruiserweight who no one thinks can do anything. Well, I've proven everyone wrong so far. First off, I was British class. I won that. Then I was European class. I won that. I'm never going to be a world champion. I'm never going to do this, never going to do that. I've done that. Let's just see how far I can go. One thing's for certain is, if this fight comes down to courage and heart at any point, like Shane says, he believes it's firepower. If the firepower goes out of him and the steam goes out of him after 4 or 5 rounds, he is in a world of shit. That is the best way of saying it. It's sink or swim, and believe you me, I love it when it gets there. I love a fight, a hard, horrible fight. I love it. He hasn't been in one. In all truth, he hasn't been in a hard dogfight since Paris against Jean-Marc Mormec. That's the only dogfight he's ever survived in his whole life. And if I can get him to that point there again, he will sink 100%. I've said enough. I'm going to leave you to talk about it because you're just full of nonsense.
David, over to you.
Yeah, so I'll take it from here. All right, thanks for that. Here we are. It's an interesting one. I've been, I said, out of the game, out of these big fights. I've had big fights. The last couple, the opponents weren't known, but it was still big fights. Sell-out crowd. Good numbers on record-breaking numbers on TV. But this is the first, big fight that the fans are getting excited about. And in the time that I've been out, I've been watch social media and watch YouTube, see what's happening on the scene. And all I've noticed is Eddie Hearn. Everything's the Eddie Hearn show, and this fight gives me the opportunity to shut his big mouth. All he does is jump in front of the camera and host. He shouldn't be hosting this. Adam should be hosting this, but he wanted to get out there. And the reason why Tony believes this, I've got loads of diva-ish demands. We've got a list of things that I want. Okay, ring, gloves, change rooms, blah, big long list. And when it came to negotiations, the only thing Eddie's put his foot down on and really wanted was that it was Eddie Hearn and Haymaker Promotions presents.
It was actually the split.
No, it wasn't the split. The split was super
I'm pleased to give you the
No. The only thing you put your foot down on was putting your name first. Because now, once again, you're sticking your face out. It's all about the Eddie Hearn show.
It's true.
I can't remember your dad, Barry, sticking his face in all of the situations. I tried to watch a Katie Taylor interview the other day, really interested to see how she was her first fight, really looking forward to it. She starts talking, you barge her out the way, here we go, apples and pears, jumping around, clowning around. It's not the Eddie Hearn show. You should be promoting your fighters. A boxing promoter promotes the fighters, don't promote themselves. Why are you introducing everybody? Technically, I'm more of a promoter in this than you are.
Hey, you're a joke promoter.
No, listen.
They're not fights.
We'll see.
All you want is some rap
Once again, look at you. Who's talking now? Who's talking now? Who's talking? No. I'm talking to the press. I'm talking to the press. And you're making it the Eddie Hearn show.
You're the one person who loves to stand around for us more than me.
You're making the Eddie Hearn show. It's about Haye versus Bellew. That's it. Right? I'm talking about it. And I'm talking about this is what makes it that much more sweet. To see a look on your face, the same look that you had after Aldi Harrison, your man Aldi Harrison Harrison's going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. He's going to beat David Haye, blah, blah, blah. And what happens? You get smashed to pieces.
And you got a payday.
I got a payday.
And that's all you want.
And I want a payday. You're putting a cruiserweight in me talking about this. I let you talk. I let you talk. No. I let you talk. But it's about me. You said it's about me and you. No. That's what I'm talking about. I agree, but it's about me and you. Listen, pipe down. You'll see on fight. I don't even need to talk. Everyone knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure.
That's what you believe. This fight is all about how long it's going to take me.
It's about me and you.
Put you unconscious. That's it.
What are you putting everything on? It's about me and you, man.
Why are you getting all defensive about your promoter?
No, it's not about that.
He's already hijacked the press conference.
Listen, you turned up and said it's about Bellew and Haye.
Shut up. If there was a Nassim Hamed or Chris Eubank coming through now, it wouldn't happen because Eddie would jump right in front of him and make it the show about them. Can you imagine where's the Nassim Hamed and Chris Eubanks of today? He doesn't allow it to flourish because he gets in front of the camera. He makes it about him. It's the Eddie. When's the next Eddie Hearn show? No, it used to be. When's the next Nassim Hamed show? When's the next Chris Eubank show?
How much does it kill you that I'm promoting this show? How much does it kill you?
It doesn't kill you. It doesn't hurt me at all. I love it because you're seeing what happens in promotion. You're seeing tickets sold out. You see the
I've never done that before.
This is what happens. I would probably be working with Matchroom if your old man was running the show. Your old man was a great promoter.
You know what? You are working with Matchroom because you've got no choice because you need the dough.
It's an easy money. Fighting a cruiserweight. Okay, we'll see. Trust me.
You need the dough.
I'm working with you today to put the look on your face.
Don't worry about me.
For the look on your face, to look at all of your team's face, when I destroy your boy, and then after I've taken out this guy, I'm going to come back and take out Joshua and end your business. That's what I'm doing.
Shut down. No Joshua fight for you.
Matchroom's going to be over.
There's going to be no Joshua fight for you.
You're getting smashed.
There's no Joshua fight for you.
Listen, you're getting absolutely destroyed. Everyone knows it.
I'm sure.
You know it.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart, I understand you're fragile.
Head of Haymaker boxing, you bring out my t-shirts. That was his job back then.
Deep in your heart, I know you're fragile as they go. You've never fought anyone who fights back. Do you really believe them last two cards you fought were really good? I smashed the opponent like I'm going to smash you. Listen, I'm not going to run. I'm going to get in your fucking face and I'm going to punch you.
One-round knockout job then. One-round job.
Do you want to bet on that? Okay, then let's just bet now. My whole base on this money now, it does not, I do not go in. My whole money, my whole purse, I do not go around in
getting rushed to hospital.
Listen, I ain't going in there at all. Listen, you know you have to stop giving yourself. Okay, you know out. You know if you're this big killer, right? You know if you're this big killer, why did you fight them two clowns? Why did you fight them?
Because nobody else wanted to fight me. That's what. For the money we offered.
Shannon Briggs begging you for more money than them two. Why didn't you fight him?
Who?
Shannon.
Because he didn't want to fight if it wasn't on paper.
No, he did want to fight you. He's been
I had a contract with Shannon Briggs to fight, and he pulled out of that situation.
You could have fought him instead of fighting the man.
No, you've got to agree. The guy's got to come over and get in the ring. He didn't want to get in the ring. You don't know what we're talking about.
He's trying to sue you for not
fighting. I'll show you the contract. I've got a contract. I wouldn't sign a contract.
He's trying to sue you for not fighting.
All you do is watch the internet and try and get your face like that.
I don't.
You and the whole team are getting destroyed.
I know a lot more about you than the internet show. I know a lot more about you than the internet show.
Are you going to be there, Dave? Both of you two are putting this guy in such a dangerous situation.
Don't worry about you. I know a lot more about you and your life than the internet can ever explain. I do, trust me. I know a lot more about you and your life.
Life is irrelevant because fight night.
I know your life is irrelevant. I know your life is irrelevant.
I could go clubbing every single night from now to the fight. I'd get smashed out of my mind every night, and I'll still knock you out.
You've been doing it for the years.
I could just turn up. I could just turn up.
You've been doing it for the years.
I'll turn up. Drunk out of head, and I'm fighting with a left hand, and you'll get knocked out.
But you're fighting me.
Listen,
you're fighting me instead of fighting the heavyweight championship. And you know why you're doing it? For the money. Because I'm the money fight. Not
You're the money fight.
I'm the money fight. I'm the money fight.
How many tickets you sold for your last fight? Your last world title fight?
Me and you are going to sell more than you can fight anybody else.
The ring and sell more tickets than you do.
How many did you sell there? You were giving them away outside.
Listen,
you were giving them away outside.
Yeah, of course.
Giving your tickets outside. That's a fact.
And you was out there trying to. That's a fact. So your way in.
That's a fact. Of course, if you sold out the O2 on the last 2 fights,
yes.
Yeah, you liar. You are telling lies. They were giving tickets away outside. You liar. Damn right, liar. You out and out lie. They were giving tickets away. You couldn't sell them, son. You need a dance partner, you're struggling, and you don't want a real fight.
You don't want a lot of options on the table for me.
Shannon Briggs, and you chose
and
me.
This is a fight, and you chose me.
And you chose
Shannon Briggs fight couldn't happen.
And you chose me.
Shannon Briggs would happen.
You chose me.
You're the option. We're going down there to shut you up, shut Dave up. That's it.
You chose me.
A load of birds.
You chose me.
Easy night's
because
work.
I make sense.
Easy night's work.
Oh, I am. You think that? You think that? You really do believe that?
It's
I'm
easy
sure. Okay, we'll see.
I'm coming out.
We'll see.
The same way I said before the Audley Harrison fight, the same way I said before the Chisora fight, I end the fight when I want to end the fight.
We'll see.
And I know, and I'll end the fight when I want to. If I want to punish you for 3 or 4 rounds, I'll do that. If I want to take you out in 30 seconds, I'll do that. It's completely and utterly up to me. You're just in there. You've got no say. You're just a chump in the ring.
Okay,
a little fat, podgy,
silly,
pumped up like heavyweight.
We shall see.
Yeah, we will see.
We shall see. You are an absolute joke.
And
the guys you picked to fight are jokes. I'm being
Listen, you won a vacant world title in your hometown.
Yeah.
When I won my world title, it was on foreign territory, got paid peanuts, and it was against a guy who never lost against a guy in 10 years. And what? That's how you win a world title. You don't get given it on your home turf. I had to do the hard way.
You said John Morlock was unbeaten in 10 years.
He'd beaten every guy that ever faced.
Stop. You've just said
he beat every fight.
No, stop. No, he hadn't. He'd lost in them.
He lost and won the rematch. So he won the rematch. He beat every fight the last 10 years.
Down. Shush. He'd lost in them 10 years.
And he won the rematch. What's your point?
So he still lost.
He beat every
He's not unbeaten.
This is the confidence you're going to get. This is the technicalities you're going to get more confidence. I'm just
pointing out the facts that I know. The
fact is you're getting KO'd. That's the fact you really need to get your head around. The fact you're going to feel it. I could try. Listen, I'm not even going to put my hands up this one. I'm going to stand in front of you, my hands down. Even if you do hit me, nothing's going to happen.
I'm sure it's not.
You powder puff, you punching chump.
The longer Mark made you dance like you were on Strictly Come Dancing.
Like 15.
So what? It's just always your chin got better.
15. Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
Yes,
it has. Get better.
It's got better.
Chins don't improve. Chins don't improve.
Keep telling yourself that.
That is I really
chins don't improve. Hit me on the chin, yeah. I didn't even put me over.
For every single round. He didn't hit me on the chin.
Little 10-ounce glass and nothing happened. Why do you think you could do it and they couldn't? All those guys
because you're going to come at me and you're going to try and knock me out. You was not interested in engaging Vladimir whatsoever.
So that's why we're going to engage me with clash.
You're going to engage me.
Listen, you're outgunned in every.
So you lost to Vladimir. You lost to Vladimir because of a broken little toe, right?
I'll outgun you in every department.
Did you lose to Vladimir because of a broken toe? Is that correct? You lost to Vladimir because of a broken toe. Is that correct?
No.
That's what you said.
I said it stopped.
No, stop. That's what you said.
That's what I said. I didn't say that's the fucking reason.
I've never seen a man take his shoe off so quick since Cinderella got the shoe put on her foot.
I'll fight barefoot. Again, you can stamp on my toes after. I'll fight barefoot.
You couldn't get the boot off quick enough after the fight. You blamed the broken toe.
To the past.
You blamed
March the 4th.
A broken toe for the reason you lost against Klitschko. But then on the other hand, you beat the biggest heavyweight champion ever with a broken hand.
And what? But listen.
So you beat the biggest heavyweight champion ever with a broken hand.
Picking up the past,
you lost the biggest fight of your life.
Broken toe.
It was because
the fact that you're getting knocked out. So whatever happened in my last fight, because you're getting knocked out. You're getting knocked out. Destroyed.
Excuses.
We'll see on the night when you get. We'll see on the night.
What are you going to do if I knock you out? Are you going to lose the game? Are you going to run out? No, just tell me what's going to happen if I flatten you.
If I lose to you,
yes,
I'll need to get struck by lightning on the way to the ring.
Please, no, just what are you going to do?
It's not even a consideration. What are you going to do, Dave? I won't even fathom that.
No, please, what are you going to do? When I knock you out, when I stop you.
I won't fathom that stupid idea.
When you do a silly dance, when I hit you clean on the head,
you're not fast enough. You don't have the technical ability, you don't have the pedigree, you ain't got anything. You fought a bunch of chumps, and that's it, at cruiserweight, who weren't no good.
You said your mate was going to beat me, your nightclub buddy. You said he was going to beat me.
But he didn't. And that was it. He's not me. He's not me.
He got smashed. You
He
thought he was
wasn't
going to beat me.
Pardon? I thought he was going to beat you, yeah.
You really thought that clown was going to beat
Did
us?
you overperform or did he underperform?
The same man who'd never been buzzed off you in hundreds of rounds of sparring.
Yeah.
Never even buzzed.
Yeah.
But got bounced
But
off the floor.
they were 18-ounce gloves on, where they had a head guard on.
Got bounced off the floor.
They had
by him.
10-ounce gloves on.
Were bounced off the floor. He got absolutely dealt with.
So that means you're going to beat me, yeah?
No, it doesn't. But
Exactly.
Once again, I'm just pointing out how much you really do know about this game. You are not the best boxer by a stretch of a mile. One thing you are is an amazing athlete.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're an amazing athlete,
really
and
nice
you've
of you.
lived on that your
Always wanted
whole
to know
life.
how good my athleticism was.
You're an
It's
amazing
great,
athlete,
apparently.
quick, powerful.
Says
But
the
listen,
bell end over here.
when it comes to technical boxing, you are shite. Your
Cypress
technique
balls
is poor.
versus the bell end. You'll be known for the bell end for the rest of your
Listen,
life.
mate.
Now, how much money you get
know
this
the
fight?
amount of
Everyone
money-
who will come up to you
know
and
the
say,
amount
oh,
of
Mr.
money
Bellend,
this
this guy's
clown has
beat you.
blown?
He was that guy that got
David,
freaking
I
smashed
only
to bits
need-
by the Haymaker. That's what
We both come from absolutely nothing. How the hell have you blown the money you've blown? Because you've earned an absolute fortune.
What about?
Do you know when I look at you, right? Do you know when I look at you? I can't even say it's because of the clothes or the way you're dressed or you're a man.
It's 'cause I'm a better boxer than you. Because I'm a better
like
boxer
an
than you.
absolute bum. That's what you look like. I look across this table, you've got a hairband on. For God's sake, man, you've got a hairband on.
It's coming off on fight night. Don't worry about that. And I'll have pretty little braids with little elastics in the end of it. Pretty little braids, my little girly braids on the fight night. I'll be standing over your limp body in the middle of the ring.
Man, you're a joke.
And I'll let you untangle. I'll go back to your change. I'll go to the hospital and let you untangle my hair, let you play with my hair.
To make my life and my children's life work, because ultimately that's all I do this for. I only need
Remember, you need some sort of standard.
I only need five.
All that money you earn for that, just remember, you're not really going to be able to enjoy it. All those lovely meals you make after it, you're not going to have teeth to chew.
All this money David's earned, I only need 5% of that money to make me and my child's futures work.
Well, I'm happy to help you and your family because you weren't coming from anywhere else other than fighting me.
The lot. He's blown the lot, and this is the only reason he's fighting me, because he thinks he's going to walk through me in a round and I'm the biggest payday possible for the easy knockover. That's why he's doing it. He could have fought for the heavyweight championship of the world, but he chose the money. He chose the money because he's skint.
I offered Lucas Brown $2 million to fight me.
So who's going to pay that, David? Because
I was going to pay that. I was going to pay that. I was going to pay him $2 million to fight me. Yes, I was. I was going to pay him $2 million. Him, ask his promoter, ask his manager, ask Rehab, $2 million to pay. I was going to pay him to fight me.
I'm
He
sure
said no. He turned that down.
Your mates were going to pay that, not you. Blown the lot.
I'm telling you a fact.
Oh, I'm sure
Lucas
of that.
Brown was going to get $2 million. I was going to pay Lucas Brown $2 million.
You told me another fact a minute ago about John Mark Mormack was unbeaten for 10 years.
You've had your waffle, you had your little waffle time. Let me tell you.
Like John Mark Mormack was unbeaten for 10 years.
Listen,
I'm just saying what you said.
Talking about I could have had a world title fight. No, I couldn't because Lucas Brown turned down $2 million. He said fight anybody else, Joshua, Klitschko, but he wouldn't fight me. Is that because I've got to wear hairbands, I'm Sergio Bob? No, it's because he knew I'm the hardest puncher in the division. He would get knocked out pretty quick.
To be honest, I agree.
Yeah, listen, I'm just saying, you're saying, listen, those world title fights, you know, they will happen and they will happen when I want them to happen. And at the moment, I want to shut your mouth because the fans coming up to me in the street, knocked this guy out, knocked out. I tried to do Shannon Briggs, he didn't want to do it,
No, he didn't.
so that's it.
I've
I've got a contract to say exactly what's what, so I know it. You don't know is sitting up there in Liverpool.
The only analysis I agree with you on is yes,
You
you
don't
are the
know
most
what you're
dangerous
talking about.
heavyweight in the world.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I know this game
You don't know
inside
that.
out. There's nothing in
Clearly you don't, otherwise you wouldn't be getting in the ring.
I have forgotten all that you know about this game. I have forgotten. I've been studying this game.
When you had your first pro fight, I was already world champion. I was world champion.
Yeah,
And you were still a friggin' snot-nosed amateur. You didn't have a clue what you're doing.
I'm sure
0-3.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Do you know what the
That's
best
how much
part
more
is?
you know to me about boxing.
I know a lot more about it. And you know the worst thing is, David, I enjoy doing
Have a look
it.
through his opponents, have a look at my opponents, and you'll see what's
I enjoy being in the game. I'm not the guy who's stuck in a jungle saying, in 5 years' time, I don't want to be known as a boxer. I want to be known as an established Hollywood actor. I'm the guy who loves boxing.
Listen, if I'm offered the part to play a complete and utter moronic,
You won't be known as a Hollywood actor.
scumbag in a movie, I would have played. But they just said, be yourself.
Why did you say
They just said, be yourself.
Why did you turn up to the premiere that I was invited?
I was invited there. I was invited.
You're the gag. You
I was invited. I was invited.
You turned up
Just like I was invited to go and see Usain Bolt surfing yesterday.
No, you
I was
turned up
invited to come and
because
see your thing because I know when I go there, they're going to get pressed.
No,
That's
what
why.
happens is, anywhere there's a
you
camera,
listen.
you would turn up to the opening of an envelope if there was a camera there. You would turn up to the opening of the envelope. You know why? Because you love the cameras, you love fame, you're a nightclub whore, you love nightclubs. That's all you're about. I know how you live your life, I know exactly what you do. Good.
Then you know you're getting drilled, knocked the hell out as well.
Fantastic, great.
It is fantastic because you're going to get a nice paycheck on the end of your hospital bed. And you'll go,
just you want to say, mate, I'm doing okay. That movie paid well.
Yeah, we'll see.
The movie paid well.
I'm sure it did.
The world title fights paid well.
And a complete moron, just like you are. Go be yourself. Don't know any lines. Just go and just say some crazy crap.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Worth with one of the most established actors in Hollywood. Was told by producers
to come
out here and
this ain't a movie. This ain't a movie set.
You wish you got that part. You wish you got that part. You wish you got that part of the movie.
Joking.
You said I wish I was you. Why do I wish I was you, David? Why do I wish I was you?
You'll see that on March the 4th because I'll be the winner with my hand up. You'll be the one getting stretched out of there. That's right. I wish I was David now.
I wish I was David.
No, that's
I wish I was David.
This year was March the 4th. We'd ask you when you're stretched out, who would you rather be right now? Tony Bellew unconscious or David Haye walking out there?
Tony Bellew's premiere. David Haye's turning up to Tony Bellew's premiere. And I wish I was you. You're turning up to the premieres of the movie I'm in.
March 4th, you really wish I could punch as fast, David. I wish I really was as elusive as David. But you're not. You're straight up and down.
You're not elusive, You're elusive to these slow heavyweights. You're not elusive to cruiserweights. Are you, so in all of honesty, right, are you trying to tell me guys who pushed you, like Giacobi Fragamini, who pushed you to the limit, are you trying to tell you them guys are better than me?
2005, man.
I'm just asking. So Giacobi Fragamini is better than me, David?
Yes.
No, he's not.
How do you know that?
No, he's not.
He was European. He was European amateur champion.
So am I.
And he became a WBC champion just like you after I knocked him out. How are you better than him? Why am I getting into these trivial arguments? Anyway, I think you got the point. This guy's yappy. You want to see him get knocked out. I'm going to do it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, head to head. And then everyone's available for one-on-one. Thank you very much. March the 4th.